Did you know that the very supplements you might be dutifully taking each morning, thinking you're paving the way for a stronger, healthier future, could in fact be subtly undermining your vitality? It's a thought that can send a shiver down your spine, can't it? We hear so much about what we should be doing, especially as we gather more birthdays. But what if some of that well-intentioned advice is actually leading us down a path we didn't sign up for? We're often told that our bodies change after 60 or 65. Our systems might not process things like they used to, and our needs certainly evolve. But does that mean we should just accept a decline in energy, an increase in aches, or a foggier mind as just getting older? I genuinely believe we don't have to. What if some of those symptoms aren't an inevitable part of aging, but rather signals from our body that something isn't quite right with what we're putting into it? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on some common vitamins, a few that for many seniors might be doing more harm than good. And then, importantly, we'll shine a light on those that could truly be your allies in maintaining strength, clarity, and independence. And stick with me, because the information we'll uncover, especially regarding one particular nutrient towards the end, has been linked to a truly remarkable difference in overall well-being. Before we dive in, I'm curious, where are you joining from today? Let me know in the comments. It's always wonderful to see how far these conversations reach. First, let's talk about some of those supplements that might deserve a second look in your cabinet. It's not about fear, but about informed choices. Wouldn't you agree? Vitamin A. It sounds so fundamental, doesn't it? We associate it with sharp vision, a robust immune system, maybe even healthy skin. And in its natural form, from vibrant foods, it truly is a friend. But here's where things can get a bit tricky, especially for those of us over 65. When we're talking about vitamin A from certain supplements, particularly in the form of retinol or retinol palmitate, it's a different story. You see, this type of vitamin A is fat-soluble. Now, what does that mean for you? It means your body doesn't just use what it needs and flush out the rest like it does with some other vitamins. Instead, it stores it, primarily in your liver and fatty tissues. And as we age, our liver's processing power might not be what it once was. It's like an efficient filing system that's suddenly got a backlog. So that vitamin A you took yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that, it can accumulate little by little. And what happens when too much builds up? It can become toxic. The signs are often subtle, easily mistaken for just another part of the aging journey. Perhaps your skin feels unusually dry. You experience bouts of dizziness. Maybe your vision isn't as crisp, or your joints ache more than they should. You might chalk it up to a long day or a restless night, but could it be your body signaling an overload? Some reports even suggest that for older adults, an excess of this supplemental vitamin A might be linked to an increased risk of issues like atrial fibrillation, that irregular heartbeat that can be a serious concern. Think about it. You're taking something to support your health, but it could inadvertently be putting a strain on your heart. That's a cruel irony, isn't it? So what's the wiser path here? It's to embrace the vitamin A that nature provides. Think vibrant orange sweet potatoes, carrots bursting with color, leafy greens like spinach, and even eggs. These foods offer beta-carotene, a precursor that your body cleverly converts to vitamin A only as needed. There's no risk of an accidental overdose from these wonderful whole foods. Your body is smart. It knows how to manage nutrients from real food. If your multivitamin still contains high levels of retinol, perhaps it's time to ask yourself, is this truly serving me, or could I get what I need more safely from my plate? A simple check of the label and a conversation with your doctor could make all the difference. Next up is iron. For many, iron is synonymous with energy, a fighter of fatigue. We've heard it prescribed for anemia, and it's often found in those senior formula multivitamins promising a boost. But hold on a moment. If you're over 65 and routinely taking an iron supplement just in case, could this be a decision that's actually weighing you down? Here's a crucial point that often gets overlooked. As we age, particularly for men and postmenopausal women, our body's iron requirements generally decrease. We're not losing iron in the same ways we might have in our younger years. But if the intake continues, especially through supplements, that iron doesn't just magically disappear. Much like vitamin A, it's stored in the liver, heart, and pancreas. And when too much iron accumulates, it can lead to something called oxidative stress. Imagine tiny little rust spots forming inside your cells. That's a simplified way to think about the damage these excess reactive iron molecules can cause. This isn't about building you up. It's about potentially inflaming tissues and accelerating the aging process within your organs. The challenge is that the symptoms of iron overload are often vague and can easily mimic what many assume is just normal aging. Are you feeling persistent joint pain? Is fatigue your constant companion despite getting enough rest? Are you noticing memory lapses or even heart palpitations? It's easy to dismiss these, but could excess iron be the hidden culprit silently doing damage? Unless you've been specifically diagnosed with an iron deficiency through blood tests, and I mean specific tests like serum ferritin and transferrin saturation, not just a general assumption, you are likely getting sufficient iron from a balanced diet. Foods like lean meats, beans, lentils, spinach, and even some fortified cereals provide iron in a way your body can manage. Adding a supplement on top of this without a clear need can tip that delicate balance from beneficial to burdensome. It's like trying to add more water to an already full glass. It just spills over and makes a mess. So what's the proactive step? If you're taking a multivitamin, check the label. Does it contain iron? If so, and you haven't been told you need it, it's a conversation worth having with your healthcare provider. Ask for those specific iron panel tests. It's far better to identify an unnecessary supplement than to let it quietly contribute to problems down the line. For many seniors, an iron-free multivitamin is a much safer bet. Iron is vital, yes, but like many things in life, too much of a good thing can become a problem, especially when our bodies are working with a different set of rules than they did decades ago. Calcium. For decades, it's been hailed as the hero of bone health. We've seen it in countless advertisements, heard it from well-meaning friends and even doctors. Take your calcium or your bones will suffer. It's so ingrained in our thinking about senior health that questioning it feels almost rebellious, doesn't it? But what if those standalone calcium supplements, especially when taken without certain other key nutrients, aren't the straightforward bone protectors we believe them to be? The truth is, calcium is absolutely essential, but where that calcium ends up in your body is just as important, if not more so, than how much you take. When we're younger, our bones are like eager sponges, readily soaking up calcium. But as we age, this process can become less efficient. If we're taking large doses of calcium from supplements and our bones aren't absorbing it as readily, where does that excess calcium go? This is where the concern arises. Instead of fortifying our skeleton, it can start to deposit in places it doesn't belong, like our soft tissues, our joints, and, most worryingly, the walls of our arteries. This is what's known as calcification. Imagine your arteries as flexible hoses. When calcium builds up in their walls, they can become stiff and narrowed. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a factor that can increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes. So the very supplement taken to prevent fractures might inadvertently be contributing to cardiovascular risks. It's a paradox that many seniors are completely unaware of. Furthermore, high doses of calcium supplements can sometimes lead to digestive discomfort, bloating, constipation, and can even interfere with the absorption of other important minerals like zinc and magnesium. And if you're taking medications to reduce stomach acid, which many seniors do, your ability to absorb that supplemental calcium can be further compromised. It feels like a no-win situation, doesn't it? So what's a more balanced and frankly safer approach to calcium? Prioritize getting it from your food. Leafy green vegetables, dairy products like yogurt and cheese, canned sardines or salmon with the bones, almonds and chia seeds are all wonderful sources. Your body is incredibly adept at utilizing calcium from food. And here's a crucial piece of the puzzle. If you do need to supplement, it's rarely about calcium alone. Calcium works in partnership, especially with vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. Think of K2 as the traffic cop for calcium, helping to direct it into your bones and teeth, and away from your arteries and soft tissues. Without D3 and K2 in the picture, that supplemental calcium might just be wandering aimlessly, potentially causing trouble. When we're younger, our bones are like eager sponges, readily soaking up calcium. But as we age, this process can become less efficient. If we're taking large doses of calcium from supplements and our bones aren't absorbing it as readily, where does that excess calcium go? This is where the concern arises. Instead of fortifying our skeleton, it can start to deposit in places it doesn't belong, like our soft tissues, our joints, and, most worryingly, the walls of our arteries. This is what's known as calcification. Imagine your arteries as flexible hoses. When calcium builds up in their walls, they can become stiff and narrowed. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a factor that can increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes. So the very supplement taken to prevent fractures might inadvertently be contributing to cardiovascular risks. It's a paradox that many seniors are completely unaware of. Furthermore, high doses of calcium supplements can sometimes lead to digestive discomfort, bloating, constipation, and can even interfere with the absorption of other important minerals like zinc and magnesium. And if you're taking medications to reduce stomach acid, which many seniors do, your ability to absorb that supplemental calcium can be further compromised. It feels like a no-win situation, doesn't it? So what's a more balanced and frankly safer approach to calcium? Prioritize getting it from your food. Leafy green vegetables, dairy products like yogurt and cheese, canned sardines or salmon with the bones, almonds and chia seeds are all wonderful sources. Your body is incredibly adept at utilizing calcium from food. And here's a crucial piece of the puzzle. If you do need to supplement, it's rarely about calcium alone. Calcium works in partnership, especially with vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. Think of K2 as the traffic cop for calcium, helping to direct it into your bones and teeth and away from your arteries and soft tissues. Without D3 and K2 in the picture, that supplemental calcium might just be wandering aimlessly, potentially causing trouble. If your daily regimen includes a hefty standalone calcium pill, perhaps it's time to ask, am I supporting my bones in the best way? Or could this be contributing to other hidden risks? It's about a holistic view of bone health, one that includes a balanced diet, those crucial partner nutrients, and of course, weight-bearing exercise. This next one often comes as a surprise. Vitamin B6. It's frequently associated with energy production, healthy nerve function, and even sharper brain power. You'll find it in many multivitamins, B-complex formulas, and even drinks marketed for an energy kick. But here's a critical distinction. While B6 is essential in appropriate amounts, for older adults, taking high doses from supplements can quietly lead to some serious and often misdiagnosed problems, particularly with nerve health. You might think, it's water-soluble, so my body will just get rid of any excess, right? While that's true for many B vitamins, B6 behaves a bit differently when taken in consistently high supplemental doses. It can actually accumulate in your nerve tissues, and when it reaches a certain threshold, it can become neurotoxic. What does that mean? It means it can start to damage your sensory nerves. The symptoms can be insidious, creeping up slowly. You might notice a persistent tingling or numbness in your feet or hands, sometimes a burning sensation. Your balance might feel a bit off, or you might experience unexplained muscle weakness. Some people describe it as feeling like they're walking on cotton wool, or a subtle loss of sensation that makes them unsure of their footing. Does any of that sound familiar? These are not just signs of getting old. They could be your body's alarm bells about B6 toxicity, a condition known as peripheral neuropathy. The upper recommended limit for B6 is generally around 100 milligrams per day, but some research suggests that even doses as low as 50 milliliters daily, taken over time, can trigger these nerve issues in susceptible individuals, especially older adults. And here's the catch. Many energy-boosting or nerve support supplements can contain amounts far exceeding what's needed, sometimes even packing 100 milligrams or more into a single dose. If you're taking a multivitamin that has B6, and then perhaps another B complex or a specialized formula, you could unknowingly be pushing your intake into the danger zone. Once nerve damage from B6 toxicity occurs, recovery can be slow, and in some cases, the damage may not be fully reversible. This is particularly concerning for seniors because our nervous systems may already be a bit more vulnerable due to other age-related changes or conditions. So what's the safe and sensible approach? You absolutely need vitamin B6, but the vast majority of us can get all we need from our diet. Think chickpeas, tuna, salmon, poultry, bananas, and fortified cereals. These foods provide B6 in a balanced way that your body can easily manage. Unless your doctor has specifically diagnosed you with a B6 deficiency through blood tests and recommended a specific therapeutic dose, there's rarely a need to supplement with high amounts. Check the labels on your supplements. If you see B6 in amounts significantly higher than the daily recommended intake, it's a red flag. More is definitely not better when it comes to supplemental B6. In fact, for your nerves, more could mean serious trouble. Now, after discussing those cautions, let's turn our attention to the nutrients that truly can be your allies, supporting your strength, energy, and overall well-being as you navigate these vibrant years. Magnesium. It might not get the flashy headlines that some other nutrients do, but let me tell you, it's an absolute powerhouse involved in over 300 essential processes in your body. And here's something crucial. As we age, our magnesium levels can often take a dip. Why? Our absorption might become less efficient. Our kidneys might excrete more of it, and many common medications can unfortunately deplete our stores. What happens when magnesium is low? You might experience more frequent muscle cramps, perhaps those annoying leg cramps at night. Sleep might be elusive. You could feel more anxious or notice an irregular heartbeat. Even your energy levels can suffer. These symptoms are so common, so easily attributed to just aging, that the underlying magnesium deficiency often goes unnoticed. But when magnesium levels are restored, many seniors report feeling a significant improvement: better sleep, fewer cramps, a calmer mind, and even more stable blood sugar. Think of magnesium as the great relaxer and regulator. It helps your muscles contract and then, importantly, relax. It supports healthy nerve function, keeps your heart rhythm steady, and even plays a role in maintaining strong bones. But not all magnesium supplements are created equal. Some forms, like magnesium oxide, are quite poorly absorbed and can often lead to digestive upset. You're taking it, but your body isn't getting the full benefit. What you want to look for are more bioavailable forms. Think magnesium glycinate, citrate, or malate. These are generally gentler on the stomach, and your body can utilize them much more effectively. How much do you need? Doses often range from 250 to 400 millions per day, but this can vary based on your diet and individual health. Of course, you can boost your intake through foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, avocados, and black beans. However, due to changes in soil quality and those age-related absorption issues, supplementation is often very beneficial, if not necessary, for many seniors. Could a lack of this vital mineral be what's holding you back from feeling your best? Next, let's talk about vitamin D3. Often called the sunshine vitamin, it's actually more like a hormone, and it's profoundly important for far more than just bone health. And here's a startling fact. As we age, our skin's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight can decrease by more than half. Combine that with spending more time indoors, diligent sunscreen use, or living in less sunny climates, and it's a perfect storm for deficiency. The consequences of low vitamin D3 are widespread. Yes, it impacts bone density, increasing the risk of osteoporosis and fractures. But it also plays a huge role in muscle strength or weakness if levels are low. It's critical for a robust immune system. Low D3 has been linked to a higher susceptibility to infections, and the impact doesn't stop there. Emerging research continues to highlight connections between low vitamin D3 and mood issues, cognitive function, and even the risk of certain chronic diseases. Some studies have shown that seniors with adequate D3 levels not only get sick less often, but also tend to recover more quickly. The challenge is that most multivitamins simply don't contain enough D3 to correct a deficiency or even maintain optimal levels in older adults. While general recommendations might be around 600-800 IU per day, many experts now suggest that seniors often need more, perhaps 1,000 to 2,000 IU daily, or even higher if a deficiency is present. The best form to look for is D3, as it's generally better absorbed and utilized by the body than D2. Taking it with a meal that contains some healthy fats can also enhance absorption. Have you had your vitamin D levels checked recently? It's a simple blood test that could provide invaluable insight into your health. If you're over 65, there's a significant chance your vitamin B12 levels might not be where they should be, and you might not even realize it. The early signs can be quite subtle. A bit more tiredness than usual, some fogginess in your thinking, maybe a tingling sensation in your hands or feet. But if a B12 deficiency progresses, it can lead to more serious issues that can dramatically impact your quality of life. It can mimic symptoms of dementia, cause significant weakness in the legs, affect your balance, and sadly, it's often missed until more lasting damage has occurred. Why does this happen? Vitamin B12 is crucial for healthy nerve function, the formation of red blood cells, and overall brain health. But as we age, our stomach often produces less stomach acid. This acid is essential for separating B12 from the protein in foods like meat, eggs, and dairy so it can be absorbed. If you're also taking common medications like antacids or metformin, these can further hinder B12 absorption. So, you could be eating a B12-rich diet, but still not getting enough into your system. This isn't just about memory. That weakness in your legs, that unsteadiness, it could be your peripheral nerves crying out for B12. Many seniors attribute these feelings to arthritis or simply getting older, but what if it's something more treatable, more reversible? The good news is that supplemental B12 can be very effective. Forms like methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin, often taken as a sublingual lozenge or even as an injection if deficiency is severe, can bypass that tricky stomach absorption issue. Doses for seniors often range from 500 to 1,000 micrograms daily, though this should be guided by your doctor and lab tests. Since B12 is water-soluble, your body generally flushes out what it doesn't need. If you haven't had your B12 levels checked, please consider asking your doctor. It's a simple step that could make a profound difference in your energy, your mobility, and your cognitive clarity. Imagine feeling sharper and steadier. Could B12 be a key? Finally, we arrive at what I consider one of the most crucial nutritional supports for anyone over 65, omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. While not a vitamin in the traditional sense, their role in maintaining health and vitality as we age is so profound that they absolutely belong on this essential list. The research supporting omega-3s is vast and compelling. These incredible fats are fundamental building blocks for your brain, literally. DHA makes up a significant portion of your brain tissue. They are essential for reducing inflammation throughout your body, which is a key driver of so many age-related conditions. They help keep your blood vessels flexible and healthy, support a regular heart rhythm, and can even improve joint comfort. Think about it. Better brain function, a healthier heart, less achiness. Doesn't that sound like a recipe for aging well? Some truly impressive studies have linked higher omega-3 levels with a significantly lower risk of all-cause mortality in older adults. That means living longer, yes, but it's also about living better. They've been shown to reduce the risk of fatal heart attacks and support cognitive function, potentially staving off memory decline. Yet, here's the disconnect. A large percentage of adults, especially seniors, simply don't get enough of these vital fats, primarily because our diets may not include enough fatty, cold-water fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines. To get the therapeutic amounts that can make a real difference, food sources alone often aren't enough, especially as we age. This is where a high-quality fish oil supplement comes into play. Look for a supplement that provides a good combined dose of EPA and DHA, often at least 1,000 milligrams per day, and sometimes more if you have specific health concerns. Purity is also key. Choose a brand that is third-party tested for contaminants like heavy metals. Taking it with a meal can help with absorption and minimize any potential fishy burps. Omega-3s aren't just about preventing problems. They're about actively supporting the structures and functions that allow you to think clearly, move with ease, and enjoy life more fully. They help you stay you, longer. So, there you have it. We've journeyed through some common vitamins, uncovering how some, when taken inappropriately, could be subtly working against your efforts to stay strong and vital. But more importantly, we've highlighted those true nutritional allies that can support your body's incredible capacity for health, even as the years advance. It's not about simply taking more pills, it's about taking smarter ones. It's about understanding that your body's needs at 65, 75, or 85 are unique. It's about choosing the right nutrients, in the right forms, and at the right doses, tailored to you. It's about moving away from a one-size-fits-all approach and embracing a more personalized path to wellness. What's sitting in your medicine cabinet right now? Did any of the information we discussed today surprise you or make you rethink your current routine? I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts, or perhaps a question you might have. Share it in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. If this conversation has opened your eyes or given you some food for thought, please give this video a thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell, because we're all about breaking down the science that empowers you to live stronger for longer. Thank you for watching. And here's to making informed choices that truly support your incredible journey through life.